We go?
Go.
Is it all good?
All good.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So we are at, well, me and Tom are at King's Gym today. It's gonna be a little bit of a different YouTube video. It's gonna be the first one in a while. We're gonna do a push session with, you'll see in a minute. But yeah, the guy behind the camera is Tom. We'll be training with, show yourself, Tom.
How's it going?
So, yep, come up from Plymouth, here in London at King's Gym. We're gonna go into the session probably straight from this. Let's go. Today's pre-workout, the Blue Monster. First time trying it, highly recommend. It tastes like kind of a blueberry sweet.
Tricks wanna step the Cuban and they get played, cause they bitch made pulling out a switchblade, that's kinda trifle.
Okay, so today we're here with TM Cycles and Tom. So they're both called Tom. We're gonna call TM Cycles, and Tom, you know Tom already, so I'll just call him Tom. But we're basically doing a pull session, not a push session. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, what's going on, guys? So welcome to the video. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a voiceover over our session with Thomas Moore, aka TM Cycles, and Tom Gilbert, aka Tom Gilbert. Thought it'd be good to kind of educate you guys on exactly kind of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Obviously, this isn't my session. Basically, we went up to King's Gym in London to train with TM Cycles. We went through his session just because I think it's a nice thing to do. Obviously go through whoever's session is you're training with. So yeah, we started off with some pull-ups. So this is essentially what we did for a warm-up. Again, when it comes to warm-ups, you really do need to spend a good 10-15 minutes warming up the muscle that you're training, making sure that you're kind of priming it for the movements you're about to kind of go into. Get the blood flowing, make sure that you've got that muscle to mind connection or mind to muscle connection with the muscles you're training, and you're not just kind of swinging the weight around. I always tend to go nice and slow and controlled for my warm-ups. It's good to see that obviously, Tom and stuff do that as well. But yeah, obviously when it comes to spotting the movements, you'll see throughout that when you're spotting someone, it actually does really help to kind of touch the muscle that they're meant to be activating, and it helps them actually contract it. So the first movement we went on to was the supported T-bar row. One more. Breathe in. So yeah, obviously when it comes to the supported T-bar row, it is really, really important to make sure that you try and keep your chest on the pad with this. And you'll see that before I go into a set, I do actually kind of visualize the movement and kind of run through it without the weight. It is really, really helpful just to make sure that you are getting the proper contraction and the proper full range of motion. For this as well, you need to make sure that you properly retract your scapula as you're going down into the eccentric, just to stretch your lats out. You want to be getting that full range of motion, and then as you come up, as well as kind of driving the elbows up, you really want to be thinking it as driving them backwards to fully activate your lats. Realistically, in any sort of pulling movement, you just want to think of your hands as levers rather than kind of pulling through your hands and through your wrists. Try and think of it as pulling through your elbows and driving them back. So next up, we went on to a seated undergrip row using a mag bar. This was a bit of an awkward one. We found out that it did kind of stick a little bit, purely down to the machine. So we ended up putting a bench there just to raise or elevate the level which we were sitting at, so that it wasn't kind of pulling us off the seat, and it also prevented the bar also prevented the cable from sticking because we didn't actually pull it as far out. You'll see this as well. Obviously, again, just giving Tom a bit of a prod in his lats, just make sure he's activating them properly. Again, with this, making sure that you do fully stretch out. I would personally stretch out a little bit further than this, but again, it is quite a difficult one because you're in quite an awkward position. You need to be very wary with these exercises that they are all different. So depending on the machine you go onto, like the tension and stuff is going to be different on each machine. So
drive.
So third one we went on to was a pull down movement, so a lat pull down. However, instead of using a bar, which is pretty standard, which most people are probably going to use, Kings actually has it kind of like separated, so we can use like the pulleys, so the handles, making it kind of like ISO. So yeah, you'll see here the benefits of kind of doing it like this is that you're not in like a fixed position with your hands, so you can actually like rotate them and make sure that you know properly get the contraction and really maximize that kind of range of motion. So you see by kind of like slightly twisting my hands, slightly getting underneath of the movement on the eccentric, it meant that I could fully stretch out my lats.
Down. Yes, yes. Go again, go again, go again. Let's go again. Down.
Super important to keep your chest up. I tend to do quite a slow eccentric, especially on this machine. I'll do a slow controlled eccentric just to make sure I'm fully retracting, and then get a nice drive down. So when it comes to your elbows, drive them down, not back, to obviously contract the lats. I don't even know what Tom's saying there, but just showing off his guns. TM Cycles obviously doing some warm-up practices there. Again, with these, we're going on to rear delts now, so that was all the back work done. Probably less volume than what I'm used to, but nevertheless, it was good. Yeah, rear delts. So these are ones that I haven't actually done it like these in a long time. So for me, the form may not be perfect on these. However, again with these, it's all about driving the elbow. It's all about thinking of pulling it through the elbow, and the idea is to hit the rear delt and not the back. So with this, I would generally, consistently keep my scapula retracted the whole time, and then from there, obviously, get the range of motion to hit your rear delt. But you need to remember your rear delt's tiny, so you don't need to, load it up with a lot of weight. I don't think it's necessary. I think if you overload the weight with a movement like a rear delt movement, you're just asking to get injured, for one, cause damage to things like your rotator cuff and your shoulders, and yeah, you're probably not going to hit the muscle you're aiming for. You're probably going to activate more of like your traps and stuff. Next up, we went over to biceps. So this is a really good preach curl actually.
Let's go, one more on you. Control that tension, mate. Now we're working up. There we go. There's more. Yeah. Two more. Squeeze. There we go.
At the top, you'll see in here, because it is there is kind of like a sticking point near the top on this exercise. Obviously, Tom is just helping the other Tom make sure he does get that kind of full range of motion and get that full contraction at the top, because else you end up just doing like partial reps. The second bicep exercise, we only did two. Second bicep exercise was on the ISO machine at Kings, which again, you don't get this in many gyms, so we thought we'd try it out. What is super important, it does show with this, is that you need to keep your elbow on the pad and you need to line it up with the kind of pivot on the machine. So you'll kind of see here, I'm sure you won't mind me saying, but you can see like elbows slightly coming off, which isn't necessarily a bad thing if it means you can get that extra bit of range of motion in there, and that that finish off that contraction. But ideally, you don't want the elbow coming off the pad. You just want to kind of be going through the exercise whilst just training your bicep. Thing is, if your elbow comes off the pad, you're generally activating your front delt, which is then obviously taking over some of the movement, some of the tension, which is obviously you don't want, because you're not training your front delt unless you're training your bicep. But generally it's a hard machine. The sticking point on it isn't ideal, hence why you have to apply a little bit of pressure at the top if you're spotting, just to make sure that they can get that final bit of the contraction. But all in all, it was a very, very good session. It was great to actually train with Tom.
One more.
But no, it was really, really good to catch up with him. I like training with people that are very much focused on themselves and very much focused on like their own progression. So me and Tom Gilbert, because we're based all the way down in Plymouth at the moment, which is in the middle of nowhere, we're looking at, you know, just going to train with some more people, doing a bit of adventuring around the UK, and not actually just catching up with people that we speak to all the time, but just haven't actually managed to train with. But yeah, we finished off the sessions going into the posing room. We thought we would obviously get some posing in. Bear in mind, I'm full in my off season, so I'm not going to be competing until next year. The last time I stepped on stage was October, so I'm a big chubby monkey at the moment, aka like a marshmallow. I'm just, yeah, I don't look great, but I put on a lot of size. Tom just come back from Mykonos, enjoying a few drinks, I'm sure, some red wine and stuff. But he looks great, like he looks really good. I think he competed a couple weeks ago. I think the last show was at Body Power, so it was about a month or so ago now. And then obviously Tom Gilbert is a guy who I ended up prepping. He's a very good friend of mine. He joined the team and ended up prepping him for a show. He also did the Body Power show, so he did the same show as what Tom did, just in a different category. But again, he went on holiday after his show and enjoyed himself a little bit too much, I think, but if that's even a thing. But now he looks good. But apart from that, guys, I will crack on with the rest of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a little bit rushed. I wrote down a load of notes, but then as soon as I started the video to record the voiceover, I couldn't really go through all the notes because I didn't record as much as what I thought I did. But yeah, mainly when it comes to training, just make sure that you are you know, not just thinking about what you're lifting. Make sure that you are thinking about the contraction. Make sure you are warming up properly. Make sure that, you know, you're thinking about all the variables, not just how much you're lifting. And bear in mind as well that every gym you go to, depending on the you know, the machine that you're lifting on, depending on what brand and stuff it is, it's going to be built differently. The tension and stuff on it is going to be different. So just because you can lift, I don't know, like 30 kilos on one preacher curl doesn't mean you can be able to do the same on another preacher curl and achieve the same kind of results, because, you know, they are like varied and they are different.
And decide if we're going to go into London or not. We've still got plenty of time for the day, but we're going to see how it goes.
There we go, that's the session finished at Jim's, King's Gyms. I was trying to copy you word for word, but it didn't work. We'll try again. Okay, so session wrapped up. Obviously we did end up doing pool. I don't know if you can hear me when I was speaking earlier in the gym. Absolutely sick gym, King's Gym. Trained there a few times before and didn't really get a great vibe from it, but after today's pool session, love it. Great place, great atmosphere. Obviously, yeah, we trained with Tom, TM Cycles, as a lot of people may know him on the YouTube. I'll put his stuff down below just for anyone that doesn't. Absolutely great guy, so make sure you check him out. Obviously, Tom, who's squeaking away in front.
That's me.
Behind the camera a lot of the time. Put his stuff down below as well. I'm not sure what we're going to do now. I think we're going to grab some food because we're absolutely starving, and then we might possibly head into London, but we'll see what happens. About to say post-show food then. I was like, definitely not post-show. Both of us are far from post-show. Square bars, post-workout, this and a shake. Have we come to the conclusion that we're going to go into London or not? I think we are.
Yes. I see you.
I think we're going to get the tube into London. I don't know what we're going to do, but we'll find out. Play it by ear. I've got a shake as well, 2 scoops of whey post-workout, but I don't have any water, so I'm going to have to find some water somewhere. When I see a little dog like that one over there, I just get the urge to kick it. Okay, change of plan. We are not going to London anymore. We got over to the train station, got some nice steps in, and then realised it took like an hour or so to get there, and it cost like 12 quid each, which, you know, really isn't worth it. So it's really like 4 o'clock. So, where are we going?
Can you say that again for my camera? We're going to the beach.
We're going to the beach because it's sunny today. It's proper warm. So we are going to Brighton. Mate, meant to be driving.
I'm driving. I'm eating.
Health and safety tips by Tom Gilbert.
It's only illegal if your driving is unsafe, and at the moment it looks pretty safe.
As long as you're not hungry. As long as you're hungry. Yeah, Tom's got his wraps and his sausage or vegan sausages that he's munching away on. I've got my chicken and rice. Nothing beats a bit of chicken and rice. Full on, bro. But you gotta go for the Thai jasmine rice. That is the way forward. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be plenty more coming soon, so please feel free to subscribe, like, and drop a comment if you watch the whole YouTube video, and let me know what you think. If there's anyone you want us to train with next, please let us know down below, and be sure to obviously go check out the Instagram pages down below to find out kind of more details on what went on during the day.